Hey guys, so a lot of people have been complaining that most of the sign in with Google videos I've been making on my channel are mostly for Expo, and so many people are saying they need video for CLI. So that's the reason why I'm doing this video. In this video, we'll be doing it in CLI, React Native CLI. So I want you to follow every single step of the way. Don't skip any parts, don't forward any part, just follow every single step of the way so that you will not miss any information, you will not miss anything along the line. And I want you to subscribe. Please subscribe now so that you can encourage me to keep doing videos like this for you. That's your own way of saying, hey, we love you, we support, and we are enjoying your content. That's your own way of saying that. So please just subscribe and leave a like on this video, share it with your friends, your developer friends, and others that want to be able to build this feature. So after this video, anyone with knowledge of React Native will be able to implement sign in with Google feature in their React Native CLI app. So let's get started. So as you can see here, I have a blank React Native CLI app, a new app rather, and we'll be working from there. I know before you'll be in this video, you already know how to create a React Native app, so I don't see the need for us to go over that. And I didn't write a script for this video, so I'll just be doing this video straight from my memory. So you'll see my mistakes, you'll see everything, you'll see how I'll debug. So in case if you run into a similar error or a similar issue, you'll be able to debug just the same way I debug. So please don't follow this video, please just follow along. So let's start. So you know, all projects always starts with the app.tsx file. I think I should enlarge this a little bit so you can see. So this is our app.tsx. Let us delete some of this stuff and scroll view, and let's just put a text that says hello world. So if we save that, I will have hello world here. So you can delete these ones as well. So we can also give, okay, let's add a view, and that view we'll call it container, the style I mean. So we'll create container and give it flex of 1. Then we'll move hello world into it. Oh, we save that, and so let's proceed from here. Flex, give this one flex of 1, and so that's good. Now what's the first thing we need to do? So we're here on the browser in React Native Google sign-in package. This is the documentation. So we'll be installing the package, and since we're using npm, we'll just copy this and use npm for it. So since I've copied that, we'll just paste it here. No file or directory. Oh, npm install this. Okay, so that's installed now, and we'll have to proceed. So next we can come here and go to original Google sign-in and grab some of these stuff, like to import these things. And because we'll be doing this feature in our app.tsx file, so we'll just be doing everything here. And so we're gonna import this stuff from the React Native Google sign-in package. Also, we'll scroll down a little bit here and we'll copy all of this stuff. We'll just copy it so we can paste it also in our app.tsx file. We'll just paste that here, and though we'll be deleting some of them, but okay, let's delete some already. We'll delete this. We'll delete, let's delete this, let's delete this. Okay, this, let's delete this, and let's delete account name. I think that's okay. These are the ones we need mostly, so let's proceed. Now we'll click on the drop down for the React components, and then we'll select the Google sign in button, and we'll be pasting this in our app.css file so we can use that button, since we won't be styling any button at all. So we're replacing this, our text here, with that button. By now we're already getting an error that is saying, okay, we'll just do this right false here and leave this like this for now, and we'll save that. So our error is saying React Native Google sign-in could not be found. Verify that a module by this name is registered in the native library. So we'll fix that just now. Now, as I said earlier, you'll be able to see my errors and all. So I'm going to stop this build, and I'm going to run npm run start again, and I'm going to minimize this. Then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to the iOS folder and run pod install. So, you know, after installing a new package, we have to run pod install so it can be installed natively. So that's what I'm doing right now. So we'll just wait for it to get done. So that's done now, so we can be able to go back and run our app again, npm run iOS. So we're trying to build our app again so it can bring the latest updates from the pod and from the iOS build. So that's what we're trying to do now. Let's just wait for it to be done. Okay, as we can see here, successfully built the app and is launching it now. So we can see our sign in with Google button now, and in our app it's working now. So remember that I have my npm run start, I have my server running here. So while we have this, so just for styling sake, I'm going to add let's center the button. So it will be align item center. So yeah, so as you can see, our button is doing nothing, but yeah, we're importing it from React Native Google sign-in. So let's proceed. So the next thing we want to do is to go to original Google sign-in and then scroll down till we get to sign-in example, and we're going to copy all the stuff that's in there, and we'll go back to our app now and paste it in a new file. Now here in our app, we'll create a new folder and call it maybe const or just anything, and inside const I'm going to create a file called signin.ts, and I'm going to paste all that stuff we just copied, and I'll put export. Now don't worry about most of these errors for now. Don't worry about them. So what we'll do here is just console.log this. Let's just copy this, and because we have no states here, so and I think that's okay for now, so we can just save this and move on. And inside our const, I'm going to create a new file again that is called key.ts, and please don't ask me again, thank you. So inside here I'm going to create 3 variables. Const, first we have the web client ID, and our Android clients, oh come on, Android clients ID and iOS clients ID. So I'm going to save. Okay, first I'm going to have to put in exports on this. No. So we'll save this, and now we'll have to go to our browser to get each of these client IDs. So let's go on. Now we need to get those client IDs, the web client ID, the Android client ID, and the iOS client ID. So to do that, we'll get it from cloud, Google Cloud Console, and I'll go to the console. I just click on console here, but I don't want to use this account, so I'm going to use the account I want to get. Okay, because I've already used enough free APIs on that account, though I shouldn't be telling you this. Okay, but yeah, so I have different apps. Just two apps here. So we're going to create a new project. As you can see, in case I'm too fast, let's go back again and select projects, new project, and I will call the name of this project auth app 1. No organization. I'll just create that, and it will create it for me. And once it creates it, I will select the project. So I have to select the project so that what is here is the project we just created. Now I'm going to go to APIs and services, still inside that project. And when I click on APIs and services, the first thing we have to do is to set up what we call an OAuth consent screen. So let's do that. Let's do that setup. So I'm going to set it to external, the user type to external, and create. So the name of our app, auth app 1, and the email, I'll select my email, developer email, that's important, so I'll just add my email. Then there's a save and continue button here, even though you might not be able to see it right now, but I'll just click it, but you will see it in your own when you're doing it. So here I'm going to add some scope, the first 3, 1, 2, 3, and scroll down. Let me cancel this, and there's an update button here that's out of my screen, but I'm going to click it. But you see the update, and save and continue button is here also. So save and continue. Then I'm going to add test users, so some test accounts that I can use. Make sure you click enter here, and when it's like this, you can click on add. But I would like to add 2. Let me add one more. Go to @gmail.com. Click on enter and click on add, and make sure it adds them, and you see both of them here, and then save and continue. And our OAuth consent screen is ready, and what we'll do now is to go to credentials. So this is pretty simple. So the first credentials we'll be creating is, so now let me do that again. So I clicked on create credentials, and I selected the second option, which is OAuth client ID, and the first one we'll be creating is the web application. We'll leave this like this, leave this, and we'll just create this straight up. Okay, Google, I'm very satisfied. Can you just leave me alone? All right, now, yeah, come on. Now we'll create this. I'll be able to see my client's ID, even though I'm going to block mine here so that you'll not use mine. But I'll copy it, and I'll go and paste it in the key file which we just created in our project. Now the next one we'll be creating is the iOS. So the second option also OAuth client ID, and we'll create iOS, and we'll leave the name like that. Now we need our bundle ID. You see it's starred here because it's a must. So how do we get our bundle ID? We'll have to get that from our project. So how do we do that? Okay, for us to get our bundle ID now, we'll just go to our Android directory. If I close all the directories, you can see our Android directory here. This, so we'll have to drop it down, then drop down our app directory also. Drop it down, and we'll see build.gradle inside it. And inside build.gradle, we can scroll down and get to Android namespace, and we'll just copy that is our bundle identifier. So we'll copy that and we'll go back to paste it in Google Cloud Console. So we'll just paste that here, and the next thing we'll have to do is to create. So yeah, I'll just copy my client ID and go back to my project and add it to the key file. Yeah. Now the third one we'll have to create is the Android client ID, the Android OAuth client ID. So we'll select Android, and first we need the package name, which is the same as the bundle identifier. No, I'll just copy that. So I've copied the package name, which is the same as our bundle identifier, and this is what we have here. So we've added our package name. Now we need to add our SHA1 certificate fingerprint key. And how are we going to get that? Because it's a must for us to add it. And now they're telling us to use this command, but instead I'll paste the command that we're going to use, and I'll tell us what to do. So let's proceed. So back in our app, we're going to retrieve our SHA1 fingerprint certificate key, so we can be able to use it in Google Cloud Console. So I'll create another terminal here, and I'll paste this. Now this is what you're going to be using to get your SHA1 certificate fingerprint key. Ignore what was written on Google Cloud Console there. So we'll be using this command, and if I press enter, it will ask me for, oh, that's an error. Okay, actually I'm supposed to cd into the Android folder. So like I said, you'll be seeing all of my errors. So now if I paste that command again, it will ask me for a password, and I just have to type Android, ANDROID, and if I press enter, it will generate the SHA1 certificate fingerprint key, which is this one, which we can now use in our Google Cloud Console. I'll just copy that and go and paste it. You have to generate yours, mine won't work for your app. So we'll just paste it here and click on the create button, because that's all we have to do for Android. And once we create, it will give us our client ID, and we'll just copy it and paste it also. Now I've added the keys, the client ID rather, to the keys file in the const, and I'm exporting it from there. So we're going to put it here now to replace this stuff in our app.txt file. So we'll have web client ID, which we will import from keys.ts, and also we'll have iOS client ID. That's all we need to import. We don't need to import the Android client ID. This is just all we need to import. So the next thing we'll have to do now is to go to our sign in button and then call the sign in function. So no, that will be in small letter, sign in from signin.ts at the top here. So when we save that, we'll click on sign in with Google. Let's see what will happen. So we need to know if we're getting an error or something. So first of all, before we proceed, let's go to signin.ts, and we need to make some changes here. Now the changes we'll need to make are just a few. So first of all, we'll have a response. So if response, then this should work. And this on this part, so if we have an error, no, okay, so I think that should clear some of those errors. Let's give it a save and let's see. Now, as you can see, when I click on the sign in with Google button, even though my function is passed to the press of the button, but nothing seems to be happening, and we are just trying to know what's going on. So we'll have to do some little setup for iOS. So the next thing we'll have to do is to open Xcode, and we'll have to open our projects on Xcode. So this is how we'll do that. So first I'm going to click on file and open, and I'll just try to locate my project in from desktop. I have apps, auth1, and iOS folder, and Xcode auth-app1.xcode project. You see you see your project name .xcode project, and I will click open, and that will come up here. And don't worry about this, just click on the project and click on the targets here, then click on info, close this up, go to URL types, add new URL types, and the URL scheme here is what we're supposed to add. So we're supposed to add a new URL scheme. So how do we get our URL scheme? Now in our Google Cloud Console, we can see our 3 client IDs. Now to get our iOS URL scheme, we'll have to click on the iOS client, and when we click on the iOS client, then we'll be able to see our iOS URL scheme here. As you can see here, this. So we'll just copy it and go and paste it in Xcode. So back in Xcode, we have this place here called URL scheme. So I'll just click on it and paste, Ctrl V, that, and we'll just close it up, and we're done with that. So I'm going to rebuild our app now, and let's see if it runs successfully. Now we have added our URL scheme, our iOS URL scheme in Xcode, and we've rebuilt our app, and the build just successfully run, and this is our app now. So once we click on the sign in with Google, it will show us this alert, and we can select this. Also look at the terminal here, so I can select the accounts I want to use, and so it will tell me Google hasn't verified this app because verification is needed, but I'll click on continue, and so many checks here, and I have the user details. As you can see, the name, the user email, the family name, the given name, the photo, and the token. So I have all these details that I can use to log my user in or send this to the back end or something. So now we're successfully running this in iOS. Let's see how Android is doing, if it's running as it should run. So because after making some of these videos, I get complaints of how it's running, of how it's working on one platform and it's not working on another. So I want to make sure there's no error anywhere. So yeah, so please don't forget to subscribe. In case you have not subscribed at this point, please, I really need you to support me. It's just a way of saying we love your content and we support what you're doing, and this is good. So please just subscribe and leave a like now. And this is like a subscription break, so just just click the button. It doesn't hurt, so just click the button, and so you can support me to continue to create content like this and simplify everything React Native for you. So that's it. So let's proceed. Now we have it working on iOS as we saw earlier. So this is our Android emulator now, and we're going to confirm that it's working there. So while we're running our terminal here, our server here, we'll be running npm run android to do an Android build, so we can confirm that it's working on Android. Okay, our build is complete, is successful, and the app is now opening on our Android device. So there we have it on Android. So we'll just click the button and let's see what happens. So I'll just select my account and let's see. Okay, Google hasn't verified this app. Continue. And then we have our user info, which we just got from our Android emulator now, from signing in with Google. So we can use this in different ways. If it's Firebase we want to use it with, or if we want to send it to our backend, I think that's the most common way to do it. So you send it to the backend and use the token to authenticate your users to sign in. So as you can see, it's working on both Android and iOS, and there are no errors anywhere. One more very important thing before we leave. Right now, we can only log in with the accounts that we put as test accounts in our OAuth consent screen, when we're setting that up. So those are the only accounts we can use. But if we want to be able to use any account, we can click on Publish App here. As you can see in testing, this is in my OAuth consent screen, still in Google Cloud Console. I'll click on Publish App in the same project we're just working on, and it's telling me push to production, and I'll just click on Confirm. And now we are in production and not in testing. So any amount of users, okay, any user can log in, but we have 100 users to be able to use before we need to verify our app. So so now it's in production. So this will work now on any Google account. So that's it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I was able to simplify the process for you as much as possible. What I would just like to ask from you once again is just to subscribe and leave a like on this video, so you continue to support me to make interesting and simple content for you. I simplify all the difficult stuff. That's what I do on this channel, and I've gotten a lot of response from users, a lot of feedback that, hey, you are helping us do this. So just encourage me to keep building solutions for you. So thank you very much and stay blessed.